Listo.
Okay, and good morning, Mr. Arake. First of all, thank you. It's a waiting to participate in the interview. My name is Ana Maria Navarro, and I the conduce to research project relates English language teaching and Colombian education. And the purpose of the objective in the interview is in the game is your experience and perspective to the bilingual education policies and the teaching practice and change in the Colombian education. Are you ready to begin?
Good morning, Ana Maria. Yes, thank you for inviting me. I am glad to contribute.
Okay. Is the number one is the question is from the perspective of the English teacher, do you believe the national bilingual learning policies are the appropriate in the complex and changed context of Colombia?
Mm. I believe the intention behind the national bilingual policies is positive, but they often do not fully align with the real needs of each region. Colombia is very diverse and rural areas face different challenges compared to urban schools. Policies tend to be generalized and do not always consider the socioeconomic, cultural, and technological disparities across the country.
Okay, Mr. Araki, is it those the Colombian education system provides specific guidelines for the learning English in different public and private school? Do you believe that the learning content is few implement in Colombia?
Yes, the Ministry of Education provides a frameworks track the suggested English curriculum and the basic learning rights. However, implementation varies widely. In private schools, the guidelines are often met or accepted, but in many public schools, there are limitations in terms of teacher training, class time, and research, which makes it difficult to fully implement the content and design it.
Okay, it's so for what recommendation could you make the be is teacher to make it easier to link classroom work, sorry, this bilingual learning objective?
I would recommend that reservist teachers familiarize themselves with national standards like the CFR and the suggested curriculum, but also develop flexible strategies to adapt their teachings to their students' real context. They should use authentic materials, incorporate technology, and focus on communicative competence rather than just grammar rules.
Okay. Is it true that Colombia Basin is the common European framework of reference for language and has adjusted its guidelines bilingual learning objectives? Is for example, is the grade one is the grade 11th and the student is can graduate with a C1 level and comprove is the job skill. And from the perspective, what do you think is the greatest change facing the implement of these guidelines in a school and with more is the done percentage of student in Colombia do you achieve this level?
The biggest challenge is inequality. Not all students have access to trained English teachers, update textbooks, or internet connectivity. Additionally, the amount of English instructions per week is often insufficient. Many students begin learning thesis seriously only in secondary schools, which make it difficult to reach C1 level by grade 11.
Okay. Do you want believe that the use and technology in the classroom is the benefits foreign language learning? Why?
Absolutely. Technology provides access to a wide range of materials, videos, interactive exercise, games, and real-life communication tools that can make learning more engaging and effective. It also allows students to practice outside the classroom and develop autonomous learning skills.
Okay, is the rating use the TX of the technology in the classroom? Do you believe that as a teacher we should stay up today on this topic in order to provide a student with a optimal learning experience?
Definitely, it's evolved quickly, and as educators, we need to keep up to ensure our methods stay relevant. Using updates digital tools can enhance participation, differentiation, and motivation among students, especially when teaching a foreign language.
Okay, so and what tools do you typically use in your class for the help the student learn in a more didactic way?
I use a combination of platform and tools like Hood, Quizlet, Padlet, and YouTube. I also use Google Classroom to organize materials and communicate with students. Interactive PowerPoint presentation and storytelling apps are also very effective, especially with younger learners.
Okay, is the finally question is do you believe that Colombian education as the recurs meant to provide true inclusive education in a school, particularly if the teaching is a second language?
In theory, inclusive education is part of the national vision, but in practice, we still have a long way to go. Many schools lack the materials and training necessary to support students with disabilities or learning difficulties, especially in English. Inclusion in foreign language teaching requires more investment and teacher preparation.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Araki, for your time and evaluation instinct. Before we finish, is there anything else we'll share with future teacher of educational regarding to teaching of the English in Colombia?
Yes, I did just like to encourage future teachers to never stop learning. The more creative and impacted you are, the more impacted you will be have on your students' learning journey. Don't be afraid to innovate and adapt.
Okay, and once again, thank you for your participating. I truly appreciate your contribution. Have a great day.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Have a great day too.
Thank you.